I can try this into the opening scene actually. So the opening scene is whenever McConaughey is sitting, he wakes up from his nightmare of the crash. So what is that? That's him dreaming about whenever Earth and the people of Earth were about exploration and like advancing science and not halting exploration, just to like save what they have now and scavenge. So it'd be like more scarcity mindset. They were explorers. They were trying to find stuff. So he has that dream of the time where it failed, and so that scares him. But he's thinking about exploration. Then he wakes up and he looks out at the farm and he sees the dying world. He's like, what does the world come to? Because he's an explorer. He believes we should advance technology, but right now the world has decided to turn their back on advancing technology, and they're getting really scarce and like cutting back everything. They're
trying to play it safe.
Yeah, they threw out MRIs. Like MRIs aren't even a thing anymore. It's just like all,
basic. We're just back to farmers.
Yes, so they're like bringing everything back, but that fights against what he believes human beings are supposed to do. And really, in reality, human beings are very innovative. Human beings are the only animals on the planet that come up with new ideas, or at least are gifted new ideas to create things. And so you understand that the world is against that. And so Tom is a perfect representation of the world's the world's viewpoint of how you should go about problems. Because obviously only a small little thing of NASA is trying to fix the world's problems. Everybody else is just trying to survive and struggle. And so Tom, whenever, what's the girl's name? Chastain, the actress? Jessica Chastain. When she comes in as Murph to the house, whenever she's trying to like talk to her brother, she needs to go back to her bedroom to find the connection to solve the problem because she feels like it's there because of the love feeling, blah, blah, whatever. Tom has had a kid die. Jesse, his first son, died. Now he has Cooper. His wife is coughing. His son's coughing bad. Whenever she hears the little boy Coop talking, she tells Tom's wife, like, hey, we can fix this. Like, I could have somebody come in and check it out. She ignores it. She's like, yeah. But at the time, people don't acknowledge problems. They just ignore them and try to find, like, just work around it. Yeah. And so Tom is so against having them get, he's so against, like, having them go somewhere. He doesn't want to acknowledge what's happening. Yeah. Because, like, that's the viewpoint of the world right now. So, like, Tom is the character that represents the viewpoint of the world. Because nobody wants to fix problems. They just want to ignore them and just kind of hope it gets better.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the problem that I think humans... Well, I mean, this movie has kind of a clear message that, humans shouldn't feel so entitled to the world being able to just solve its own problems. And, it's kind of it's probably going down like the global warming route and everything. And he does reference like, farmers just look up after a bad year and they're just like, well, there's always next year. And then the next year's is just as bad, if not worse. And it's like nothing's improving if you're just trying to let the world work for you. Like, we are supposed to like take care of the planet, and because of humankind, this is how we found ourselves, from the get-go, which is something that, I took away from this movie that I haven't before. Like, I never really paid much attention to Anne Hathaway and Matthew when they're on the spaceship, and she's like, do you think nature is evil? Or vice versa. One of them asked it, and they gave the answer of like, no, it's not evil. Like, nature is just nature. Mm-hmm. Like there's no like foul intent in what happens in a hurricane or a tornado. It's just what happens. Yeah. And so it's like kind of the message of like, it's sad to see humans colonize a planet and immediate backstabbing, because it's not the planet that's bad. The planet has been there for billions of years. It was humans that came and decided that it was a bad planet. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden Matt Damon's trying to kill Matthew McConaughey and jeopardize everybody's lives just so he can like get back. And, he's trying to act all self-righteous. It was genius that Christopher Nolan like named him Dr. Man. Mm-hmm. He's like kind of the representation of like how small-minded and how entitled like mankind can feel in these situations. And it's just, it's kind of that like humans are trying to fix the problems that they've created. They can't really blame the planet for just being the planet. Mm-hmm. And if you destroy something, you can't blame that. Like, it's all on you.
Yeah, I mean, listen to what he says here. So like, you brought up a good point. Dr. Man, like mankind, like he's the representation of it. Probably is, because in this, when he starts telling them the truth about what happened, let's play it.
Keep building those damn
Because
stations.
he knew how hard it would be to get people to work together to save the species instead of themselves. Or their children.
Bullshit.
You never would have come here unless you believed you were going to save them. Evolution has yet to transcend that simple barrier. We can care deeply, selflessly, about those we know, but that empathy rarely extends beyond our line of sight.
But why?
That empathy rarely extends between or past our line of sight. So like he's literally what he preaches, he foreshadows his own character's decisions because he's so scared of what happens and like he can't think about him. He's been in isolation without any progress and he can't think past himself.
Yeah.
There's no love because the theme of the movie is love. That's how like you can transcend time and space, right? Anne Hathaway gives like a pretty obvious line about the theme, which a lot of people criticize.
Yeah,
but
there's real science in the connection of like how much humans can love one another. Yeah, it's
so his character doesn't have that. There's like we don't know anything about the love life he has. He kind of just did it on his own. He was okay to die because he's probably the last person he's okay to do it because like there's nobody tying him back to Earth. Probably
right. Wasn't that part of his character? Like he didn't have a family.
Maybe I didn't catch it. If there was.
I think Anne's character mentions it.
Okay.
That like he like didn't have any children or anything like that.
Yeah, so there you go. So there's nothing tying him back to want to like save humanity really. He's kind of just gets self-centered and back to humanity at its worst.
Yeah.
Where they just cares about yourself and the ego takes over where you just got to survive no matter the cost.
Yeah.
Humanity's the cost. Fuck it.
Yeah. It's just so smart to like make him philosophical. Because he's, clearly a smart guy.
Yeah.
So he can always justify everything that he's done.
He convinces himself.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. And he accepts the fact that he's a coward, which is like the worst thing a coward can possibly do is accept that they are a coward. Because it's like, well, now that I've accepted it, I've declared it, there's no more shame in what I'm doing. There's no more dignity to be lost. Like, yes, I am a pussy and I want to go home.